Hello and welcome to the Voodoo free video for Friday, May 2nd. This is David, and let's start digging into what I think is a pretty nuanced situation here in the S&P 500. And I want to talk through in broad strokes how I want to handle this nuanced situation. So some of you may have seen in social media, maybe on some of the networks, that that last week we got a Zweig breadth thrust signal, right? That occurs when this breadth oscillator gets from oversold to overbought within 10 days or less. This one took 9 days. It requires a pretty strong reversal from that oversold area to develop this signal, and often it requires most of those 10 days, as it did this time, to generate. And this is something that that when we do get sell-offs that are big enough and strong enough to get the breadth oscillator to oversold, that we watch for pretty closely in the Voodoo Mastery, and this time it did generate. So while this is not in and of itself a buy signal, it is one that we want to pay attention to as an indication of the overall environment that says, hey, look, if we get setups to the bull side, they're ones that we really want to be interested in taking and see if we can run them long term. So I'm not saying one should have bought the index or really any equities last week, but if you had on this signal, we'd already be up a decent amount. And if we come in and look at some other technical indicators like this big picture oscillator, which I use on the daily chart, right, we can see that this magenta line has gotten very, very overbought. Some of the most overbought that we have seen really in a couple of years. So that's a warning sign. And just like the Zweig in and of itself doesn't say buy now because we're heading directly up now, being overbought on the big picture oscillator doesn't mean we have to turn down here on Monday. After all, it was already very overbought here on Thursday at the end of the day. It's just even more overbought here today. So what I do take from this is a warning, right? A warning that we could be due for a decent pullback sometime pretty soon. And even though we've had a Zweig breadth thrust, there are still some scenarios we've been tracking that involve us turning back down and making new lows. So if we do start to head down from these overbought conditions, we don't know immediately whether that's going to be a push to new lows, maybe down towards 44.50, maybe even down towards 4100 and a Voodoo fire line down there. So really the safe place to buy in here, if one isn't already long, we are already long in the Mastery, but the safe place to buy, in my opinion, is after a corrective countertrend pullback. So we will go into a little more detail on how to track these pullbacks, figure out when to get in, but overall, the way I'd be addressing this right now is looking for pullbacks to end counter trend, find some support level to turn back up, and buy against those levels where I'd have my stops lower, rather than buying up here where we're extended and not knowing where to put those stops with the potential of a reversal down. So I do want to give some credibility to the potential of that Zweig and use corrective countertrend pullbacks to get involved, so long as it still looks like we have some potential to the upside. So I hope you found that useful, and I will see you at an upcoming update. Hey, David here with Simpler Trading. Thanks for taking a few minutes to watch this video. I hope you found it useful. And if you did, please help us out. Click the like button. You can also add your comments below. We love to read those and respond to them. You can also click the bell icon. That will alert you whenever we have new and updated videos. And if you want to watch us trade in real time with our own money, you can visit simplertrading.com to learn how to sign up. Until I see you again, as always, good trading, and we'll see you at the next video.